Hey everyone, Regal Reviews here. It is White Rice Wednesday, which means it's time for my Survivor recap. It's very late. I just got finished watching the finale and it was great. I definitely enjoyed it. With it being the finale episode, there is a lot that goes on. So instead of doing my usual recap of the episode, I'm just gonna basically sum it up by the order that everyone is voted out in. So, Davey, he got 6th place, and I was sad to see him go, but at the same time, I feel like they made the right move because had Davey had a really good shot at winning immunity, not winning immunity, winning the game, because he did make some big moves. He was part of the John vote off. Not the John vote off, the Dan vote off. And I feel like even if he didn't make big moves, I feel like he's just a charming, likable guy that everybody loves. He wouldn't make, too many enemies out there. So I just feel like, he would definitely have a good chance of winning. With Allison, she placed 5th, and I have to give her credit. I mean, she's been knocked down hard this season. And I don't really see how they saw Allison as a threat. I mean, the fact that she survived this many times and didn't get voted off definitely says something, but really, I definitely think Allison would have been a good person to take to the final 3 because she doesn't really have anything to say other than, she survived that many times. I mean, she survived tribal council, and the fact that she never gave up. I mean, if your name's constantly on the chopping block, that can, make anyone feel bad, and she didn't let that ruin her game at all, so I definitely have to give Allison credit on that. And that final 4 fire making challenge, it's very controversial, and apparently the orange seat is cursed, so any future Survivor players, make sure you do not get the orange seat. So it came down that Nick won final immunity. Congrats to Nick on making the final 3. Huge accomplishment. So then that leaves Angelina, Mike, and Kara left. And at the previous tribal council, Mike looked like an ass because he was basically downgrading Allison, saying that she doesn't have any dignity. And I'm like, really? Are you kidding me right now? Like, he definitely lost some points there, I believe, and it made him less likable. So then with Nick winning immunity, the question is, who does he take with him to the end, and who does he have compete in the fire making challenge? And he makes the choice to take Angelina to the finals, and I definitely think he made that right move because I personally like Angelina, but I don't think she would get a lot of jury votes, so in that sense, Nick made the right move to take Angelina. So he also made a controversial move by telling everybody who exactly he's going to take to the final 3 and who's going to compete in the fire making challenge. Because if he hadn't, like, just say he wanted to take Mike, for example, he would make sure to tell Mike ahead of time that he's going to have him go in the fire making challenge so he has time to practice fire. Well, both Kara and Mike had time to practice fire because Nick told them, and Kara looks like she got that fire like that. So Kara ended up losing the fire making challenge, and I gotta say, Kara's a very underestimated player. I mean, she had a very great under the radar game. She again didn't make any enemies out there, and I have to give her credit for breaking the cycle of, again, I love you, Figgy, but there has been a lot of people, mostly girl contestants ever since Figgy, that fall under the showmance aspect of the game. And Kara at first was infatuated by Dan, but then she realized that Dan is a threat to her game and she needs to cut him loose. And she did, and it benefited her in the end. So I definitely think Kara definitely had an argument to make at the end. So the final three is Mike, Nick, and Angelina. And with Mike, he kind of made himself less likable. He did have the argument, though, that he made deals with people and that he did orchestrate some of the votes. With Nick, he found idols. He won the last 3 immunity challenges. He's very likable around camp. I don't believe he made any enemies out there either. He also made some moves in the game. He made alliances. And for him, it was about making the right moves at the right time. With Angelina, she's very underestimated. I definitely think she brought awareness to something we'd never thought of in the game, that women are treated completely differently than men are. The fact that she's the one that wanted to get rid of Christian early on, and everybody, brushed that off and ignored her. But then I believe it was Mike or Dan that wanted to get Christian off. They were like, "Oh, that's such a great idea." And when women cry out there in the game, we're seen as either too emotional, too hysterical. But if a man does, they're seen as sensitive and heroic. And I feel like that if anybody else were to play, if any other male were to play the same way as Angelina, they would definitely be a shoo-in to win. But because Angelina's a girl, she gets treated differently. And yeah, and you definitely saw it on social media a lot. Angelina's gotten a lot of negative feedback, and I get where some people are coming from. She did come across as annoying at times, and she owned up to it at the reunion show. But again, that goes back to the whole male versus female aspect of the game. They argued a lot. I saw, because I didn't actually see the episode when it aired. I was watching social media posts, and they're saying that, oh, Angelina's pulling the race card, she's pulling the military card, she's pulling the woman card. They have a problem with Angelina pulling cards, but they didn't have a problem with Jeremy in Second Chance getting some quote-unquote sympathy votes. He found out at the loved one's visit that his wife Val was expecting a baby boy, and he said, "I don't want anybody to know just yet. They don't need to know right now." And he saved that information until the end at Tribal Council, and that's when he decided to share that information. I love Adam. He's one of my favorite winners, but he also revealed that his mother had cancer at the final Tribal Council. But he did get a lot of negative feedback for it because most people wanted Nick to win. But Nick revealed this season at Tribal Council that his mom died of a drug overdose, and that's very sad to do. But I don't believe he said that to anybody throughout the whole game. I think he mentioned at one point that people in his family struggled with drugs, but I don't think he said anybody died from it. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I didn't see anything with Nick, anyone comment about Nick and him pulling out a sympathy card. So I definitely saw that there. And it ended up being Nick that won the title of Sole Survivor, so congrats to Nick. You definitely deserve this win, and you should be very proud of yourself. I'm looking forward to next season of Survivor, Edge of Extinction, and I hope you guys are too. Survivor returns February 20th, I believe. And until next time, stay regal.